Hey, welcome back to Inside the Vandals. I'm Alyssa Charlston alongside head men's basketball coach Don Verlin. Coach, you've secured your first round bye. You're the top 3 seed. It's either NAU now or Eastern Washington. What kind of matchups do those guys present for you?
Well, obviously we've played them both twice, and so we know both teams very well, and both teams are different. Eastern's obviously a team that spreads you out, drives the ball, shoots the three, and NAU is more of an up-and-down team, defensive-minded team. But you know, really the focus on this week as we get ready for those games is in ourselves. What we got to make sure we do is renew, re-energize, and get ready to play Vandal basketball. And you really can't worry about some of the things you can't control. We can't control who we play. We can't assume that we're going to play Eastern. We can't assume we're going to play NAU. What we got to do is believe in what we do and go out and play Vandal basketball.
And I think you can't really count out NAU, but I think a lot of people will look at the bracket and see that 6 next to Eastern Washington and think that's a really tough 6 seed.
Yeah, it is, but they're all tough at this time. And you know, in our eyes, if you said Sacramento State was a 6 seed, we'd say that's a tough seed because they beat us twice. And so, you know, it's tournament time. It really doesn't matter who you play. It really matters is the determination you have as a basketball program and as an individual. And I think that's really important. And what tournaments come down to is really about your pride and how much pride you're willing to put out there. And you got to understand, everybody's 0-0 right now. If you win your first game, everybody's 0-0 again. And so you got to have the right mindset going into tournament play.
And I'm curious, going off of what you said about you've already played these teams twice, how much game planning can you really do in these kind of games?
Not a ton, you know, because you've already done it. What you do is just revisit those things that you did before, maybe make a few adjustments on the things that you didn't do as well as you'd like to in the first meeting, second meeting, and then go out and just execute what you do. And I think that's as important as anything is we go to Reno with the mindset and the belief that since we are the best defensive team, since we are the best road team, the belief that we can win it.
And if it ends up being NAU, you guys did fall most recently to them in Flagstaff. What do you want to see your team do differently against them?
Well, it'll be a totally different game because at NAU, I was without Perry on calendar, Vic Sanders and Chris Sarbaugh had fell on his neck 2 nights before. You know, so I have a totally different team, and I was happy with how hard our guys competed at NAU on that Saturday afternoon, but that'll be a totally different team that we'll put out there. You know, so I don't know if I really have concerns about NAU. I'm just happy we got our team.
And if it is Eastern, you guys have had so many intense games with them this season. What will it take to beat the Eagles in a setting like the conference tournament?
Well, first of all, I hope it is Eastern because I think they bring out the best in us. You know, and it's always tough when you play Eastern, but what we got to do is we got to do what we did the last time. I guess we got to defend the 3-point line, and you know, that'll be our focus if we happen to play Eastern. But you know, like I'm going to tell our guys is I hope it's Eastern, and then I hope it's Montana, then I hope it's Weber because if you're going to win a conference championship, you might as well beat the best.
Absolutely. And prior to this season, the Big Sky Conference Tournament Championship is hosted by the #1 team, kind of an advantage for them. You as a team have the most recent experience playing that conference tournament at a neutral site in Vegas when you were in the WAC. I know you don't have a ton of players that were there at that time, but as a coaching staff and some players, what kind of advantages does that experience bring? You
know, I don't really know, to be honest with you. You know, because we haven't done it for a year. Now I think it'll help Perry on and Chad and Ty and some of those guys that have been in a neutral court. You know, that was one of the reasons why early in the year we went to the North Texas tournament to simulate 3 games in 3 nights and to play on a different court. That was the kind of the whole idea of that exempt tournament that we played in November. So, but I don't really know the impact. You know, you always wonder when you go to a new site. You know, Eastern will have played or NAU will have played on Tuesday night. But you know what? It's tournament time. I really believe throw all that stuff out, go play hard, let's see what happens.
And I know you have a lot of business to get done first, but looking at the youth of this team, you have so many underclassmen returning next year, a lot of experience, a lot of contributions. What excites you most about the future of this program?
Well, a number of things. Number one is we got good people in this program that stand for the right stuff. We've got good students. We got guys that don't get in trouble. We got guys that have a high work capacity. So I'm really excited about that. And as our coaching staff talked after the Idaho State game, this team has been really fun to coach. mainly because they want to be good, and that's always fun when you're a coach. Number two is when you bring back a lot of experience comes expectations, and I think that's what this program needs. It needs expectations. I mean, we need Vandal Nation, the Vandal students to feel good about our program, but also to have expectations, and we need to go out and back up those expectations.
Well, Coach, thanks so much for being with us every week, all season long, and best of luck in Reno.
Thank you.
Well, coming up next, the road to Reno is no more, at least for the women's basketball team. They're already there. Tom Purvis catches up with head women's coach John Newley when Inside the Vandals returns.